Assalamualaikum and hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to give a tutorial about journals, ledger and trial balance. So look at the transaction given below and got the balance. Thomas Trading got the balance and the transaction below. So look at the 1st of December, purchase merchandise on credit from Murni RM 10,500. So we have to record in the purchase journal, debit purchase and credit account payable with the amount of 10,500. The 2nd of December, sold merchandise on account to Maria Trading RM 4,500 and we have to record in sales journal, debit account receivable, credit sales with the amount of 4,500. The next transaction, 5th of December, return a part of merchandise RM 400 for the purchase on 1st December. So debit account payable, credit purchase return. We have to record in general journal. So we look at the answer here. Debit account payable and credit purchase return 400. The next transaction, 9th of December, Maria Trading returned a part of merchandise RM 350. So we have to record in general journal, debit sales return, credit account receivable with the amount of 350. The next transaction, 11th of December, received check from Maria Trading for sales made on December 2. So we look at December 2. We have to record in cash receipt journal, debit bank, debit sales discount, and credit account receivable. So we look at the answer here. Debit account, debit bank 4,067, debit sales discount 83. So we have to calculate sales discount, sales credit, sales on credit 4,500 less 350, sales return times 2% and you'll get 83 for sales discount. So how to get bank? The calculation for bank for 150 less 83 and you get this amount. The next transaction, the date for 18th of December, settle the amount owed to Murni Enterprise by check for the purchase made on 1st December. So we look at 1st December, 10,500. So this amount we have to record in the cash payment journal. So this is the amount you got. Debit account payable, credit bank. So how to get this amount? The amount for 10,500. This is the account payable less purchase return 400 and you get 10,100. Okay, for this part you will not receive for purchase discount because the date is more than the period given. Okay, the last one, 30th of December, paid salaries expenses in cash RM 1,200 and we have to record in cash payment journal, debit salaries and credit cash with amount of 1,200. Now, after finish all the record in the transaction, we have record in the journals, we have to close for the sales journal, purchase journal, cash receipt journal, and cash payment journal. And we have to prepare for a post to the subsidiary ledger and general ledger. Now we look at the first one, the cash, not the cash, the account payable subsidiary ledger. So this one is the individual's account. Murni Enterprise, we look at the balance brought forward, the balance given in the question. So we look at the question. So the balance for Murni Enterprise given in the question, the amount is 31,200 and purchases 10,500. the date of 1st of December, and debit account payable 400 for the date of 5th December, and we have made a payment to account payable at the date of 18th of December. So we have to close the account for debit and credit. Then we get the different amount balance carried forward 31,200, and we brought to the next month balance brought forward 31,200, and we have to record this amount in the account payable control account. The next one, we look at account receivable subsidiary ledger. This represents for the individual's account. So we have the balance given in the question, 27,600 debit side, and the transaction for the 2nd of December, debit account receivable 4,500. So the next one, sales return 350, the account receivable credit side, and then for 11th of December, account receivable credit side, debit bank, debit sales discount. We have calculated for this amount in the cash received journal, and we have to close the account, debit and credit with the same amount, and the different amount will get balance carried forward 27,600 and brought forward for the next month, January, 1st of January, 27,600. This amount we have to record in the account receivable control account. So this is the general ledger that we have record from individual account, for account payable, and for account receivable. The balance brought forward in the credit side. It means that we have to record in the trial balance in the credit side. For account receivable, the balance brought forward in the debit side. So we have to record in the trial balance in the debit side. So we have to close all the accounts, including cash. So brought forward the balance given in the question, and for the date of 31st December, this one, miscellaneous account, we get the amount from cash payment journal, or we can refer to the transaction that relate to cash credit side. We have paid for salaries expenses, and we have to close the account, debit and credit with the same amount, and the different amount represent for balance carried forward, and we brought to the next month. So this amount is in the debit side. We have to record in the trial balance debit side. For the next month bank account, we have to open for bank account. The debit side we get from cash receipt journal, or we can look at the transaction for debit side, this amount, and the credit side we got from cash payment journal, or you can look at for 18th of December. So we have to close the account for bank account and the different amount 6033, and we have to carry forward and brought forward to the next month. So the credit side for bank represent for bank overdraft. So we have to record in the trial balance credit side. Next one, sales. The date is we have to get the amount from sales. Sales here, the amount, or we can refer to sales journal. The amount is 4,500, and we have to close the account for sale. You got the balance for credit side. So it's very important you record in the trial balance credit side. For sales discount, you have to open and record based on the transaction or based on sales received journal, and you have to close. When you close, you got the balance brought forward in the debit side. So this amount we must record in the trial balance debit side. Purchases. Purchases, you got the balance brought forward in the debit side. We look at the transaction for purchase 10,500 in the debit side. So purchase, this is the amount. Now we look at, and you have to close. Then you have to record in the trial balance debit side. For the next transaction, sales return, purchase return, sales return, you got the balance brought forward in the debit side. So record in the trial balance debit side. Purchase return, you have to record the transaction, debit account payable, credit purchase return, and you have to close. Carry forward and brought forward to the next month. So you got the debit, the credit side in the trial balance for purchase return. And for salaries, you have to open for salaries the transaction for debit salaries and credit cash. So you have to close the salaries expenses and you got the balance brought forward in the debit side. So after you prepare all the accounts, I think it's about 13 accounts. So you can look at here, there are 13 accounts. We have to refer all the accounts from the transaction. So you can see the red color represent for the accounts from the balance and from the transaction, red color. So all the total for the accounts are 13 accounts. So the debit side represent for asset, expenses, and drawings. Then for the credit side represent for liabilities, revenue, and capital. So you take all the amount from the balance brought forward and you record in the trial balance, and at the end you got the debit side equals to the credit side. So the amount for debit side 122,033 equals to the credit side 122,033. That's all for today. Thank you.